C.H.U.D.
For
Annual CHUD II Hollerween Stream Along Film.
What, bud?
Yeah.
I've come to speak with the Karen of your village.
Ugh. I am in a shitty mood, but it's fine. Talking about Bud the Chud. Well, this movie was wild. Not quite what I was expecting.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what to expect at the same time, so it's not like, oh. But I was kind of glad that it didn't, try to follow the same,
Yeah. Premise or
yeah,
path or
sort of like the,
structure.
Structure of the first one. Because sometimes sequels will do that where they try to repeat, and I'm always like, oh.
Especially, I feel like especially with, zombie-type movies.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
Yeah. Right. And they're
where it's like, oh, this thing we eradicated in the first movie popped up in a new part of the world, and we just have the same story.
Yeah.
Just a different,
It's
slightly
just different
locale
people
or
something,
cast.
Right. It starts with different people, and then,
Which, it sort of starts out that way.
Right. You kind of think it's going to be, but, I don't even know. It was wild. It was fucking wild.
Yeah. I was a little nervous because I knew, or I had a feeling, and I saw, one of the genres IMDb tags it with is comedy. Mm-hmm. So I knew it was going to be goofy.
Yeah.
And I was a little nervous given its age.
Yeah.
And the way it starts out, it takes a while to get going, kind of. I mean, it feels pretty awkward. I felt awkward. Mm-hmm. Until it's a full spread, full-on kind of wave of zombies movie. All the teens are actually the weakest part.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Which is fine. I don't need...
Teens would be in that situation.
Yeah. I just felt like the casting was oof.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, the dialogue, whatever. The point is, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And it knows that.
Yeah.
I feel like...
I feel like it made... It was honestly...
It's no Night of the Creeps.
It's no Night of the Creeps, yeah. But I feel like it totally just was we're only referencing it in terms of the name.
Yeah.
Nothing looked the same. Nothing acted the same. It was all just its own thing, which is it's always kind of funny when that happens. Like we were saying something similar with Child's Play 2. We were like, oh yeah, this isn't totally, this takes a different direction than the first one. It's its own film. But it doesn't completely destroy the mythology or ignore it in any way. This one was just oh, we'll just make up stuff and just call them chuds. It felt so far away. Well, it's just the way that the first one, there were funny parts of the first one, but I don't think they were supposed to be funny in the ways that this movie, intended.
Right.
And I don't know. This is not a complaint to any degree about this movie. It's just it was...
It's not taking the lore seriously.
Yeah.
Where's the fan service?
I feel I was not very excited to watch it because it was it's going to be so boring. It's going to stretch on for so long. It's going to be, the first one was okay, but it was a little bit of a drudge. I liked it, but I don't want to repeat that watching it. I don't want to, I didn't enjoy it enough to want to rewatch it over and over, So when this one was just its own weird thing,
Yeah.
and Gerritt Graham was
Solid.
just doing doing a thing, and I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I was real worried that it was like all the shit of getting him to the kid's house and his reanimation or what have you, and his first
Yeah.
few hours being alive again. Real rough for me. Like, and I
For
was
sure.
real worried that there was going to be that we're going to linger on the Weekend at Bernie's stage for
Yeah.
a long,
Yeah.
because people think it's real funny. I mean, especially after Weekend at Bernie's, I feel like, and it's never
Yeah.
very funny to me. That you have a person who's dead that you're trying. Anyway, whatever. See our episode on Men at Work. But
Oh yeah.
once he's fully autonomous and
Right.
eats a dog and
Keep saying meat.
meat and dabbing the corners of his mouth. And there's just tons of fucking cameos in this movie. It's how I read it. Like when they kill Norman Fell and whoever he was cast with, she was like in the original Lost in Space and shit.
Yeah.
And Steve's parents are John Riley and Joanna Kearns. And, if you're my age, you'll probably recognize Jack Riley, from things. For me, he's most recognizable as from the original Bob Newhart show.
Oh.
Where Newhart played a therapist and
Yeah.
Jack Riley was like a regular patient and just always in the waiting room. And I haven't confirmed this, but I swear he
I
might
know,
be
you-
the Country Crock guy. And Joanna Kearns, or Sandra Kearns, sorry, not Joanna. God, I'm getting everybody's name wrong. She was on Charles in Charge.
Oh.
June Lockhart was cast opposite Norman Fell. I don't know. And then, like, the scene at the barber shop.
When my dad used to put all the valuables out on the lawn.
Folks could leave their keys in the car, sometimes with the engine running. You giving razor cuts now, Don? That's very progressive. I could take a fashion risk. Yeah. I can remember when my dad, he used to take all of our valuable possessions and he'd put them out in the street every night before he went to sleep. They'd be there the next morning. You don't talk to strangers nowadays, neither. No, sir. I believe if a stranger pulled up beside me in a car right now and asked me to climb inside, I don't think I'd do it. Unless he had really good candy. Like pecan logs. Or those red licorice whips. Boy, those things are good, aren't they? Hot, juicy.
Keith,
Hello?
the voice of the wife in the Country Crock commercials was provided by Casey DeFranco, while the husband's voice was provided by actor Jack Riley. I honestly was surprised. I expected to be telling you that it was wrong, but I was telling you that you were right.
Fuck yeah.
Sometimes
Finally.
you get it. When you're not looking at someone's face, you can sometimes tell them apart.
Son of a
What was
bitch.
What was the joke I made last night? Remember
Last night?
I
called
called
the Best Joke Awards? And then you could not breathe laughing at your own comedy routine?
Yeah, what did I say?
To be fair, I couldn't either, but mostly I was laughing at you, laughing at yourself.
And I was laughing because I got you to laugh, and I was like, "This is the funniest thing ever," because I got you to laugh. And I said the wrong thing.
Z has this crescent moon pillow that's very large. It's like a large neck pillow, if you can imagine. and they used it as a telephone prop, which got me already because I want to do that every time I see it. Pretty much. Anyway, had to be there.
Yeah. But what was the joke? Oh man, I said a good joke. And that's when
That one?
No, I said it, the joke I said, and then I called the
that's
awards
right.
on my
That's
own
right.
joke.
That's right.
That's why it was funny. That's why it was so funny, because I was giving them my joke. I was like, God, we have to remember this tomorrow. I didn't write it down.
I was overshadowed by the
Oh, man.
no patak patoni, if I'm honest.
Man, that's rude. You laughed so hard you couldn't breathe. Like, you had to pause the movie and go take a piss.
You told me to, because you were like,
I did it. I wasn't telling you to pause the movie. I was just telling you not to try to talk to me, because you were like, what? And I was like, no, don't speak right now. I can already. I woke up in the middle of the night and I was like, oh God, my ribs hurt. I'm like, why does my ribs hurt? And I was like, oh, right, that's right. I was laughing so hard.
porn.
You're not going to make me like porn.
Not going to do it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to talk about it other than
This is two things about the movie that I really, really love. The fact that they need a dead body and go to the Center for Disease Control to get one, because that's always going to be a good idea. And that
no part of the plot is reasonable.
Well, I know that. And
I'm
also
just letting the listener know.
An explosion doesn't kill them, but exploding them does.
Well, yeah. That's not weird.
But I don't know how they don't explode in an explosion. But they
what is your
make...
Oh, what a blast.
Yeah. Like literally firebomb explosion, but then it's like when they... when you give them energy and ice, they explode. What? I don't understand.
It's good. Well, because they
Well,
mutate. I don't know what else you need to know.
Sorry, I forgot about that part.
Would you rather they time travel? I don't know what else you need.
I do kind of love that when they're going to the dance, the Halloween dance, and they do that little weird, like, sidestep.
Oh, yeah, there's some...
I love that shit. Yeah.
Sneaky, awesome choreography.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus, that band, that's Wall of Voodoo.
Oh.
The band at the high school dance. Oh. And all the background music that's happening.
Wow.
You remember when they're in the diner, or whatever it's called, Bessie Moo's
like,
cow.
Yeah, Bossies.
Patty.
Bossies?
Yeah, whatever it is. And I'm like, oh, that sounds like Sparks in the background. No, it's Wall of Voodoo.
Oh, nice. I'm unfamiliar, so I'll take your word.
They did Mexican radio. And a great cover of Ring of Fire.
Oh, I don't think I've heard that, but I know Mexican radio,
yeah.
I always forget. Well, I don't want to say. I knew that I had heard of Wall of Voodoo, but when I was saying I'm unfamiliar, I mean, like, I can't pull anything up.
Yeah, I mean, that's
I do that a lot with bands. Oh, like, if I hear, if there's a song that I know by them, I'll be like, I don't know who sings it. And then I'll be like, it's something, and then I'll be wrong. And then someone will be like, this band. I'll be like, what do they make? The song you just said. Oh, yeah, that's right. Anyway.
I was trying to find a budget, but...
Oh, yeah. Gotta have at least somewhat of a budget with how many people were in this.
I did. Yeah, Larry Linville and from MASH is the coroner.
Amazing. That scene was beautiful.
Victim is Norval Laurel. Occupation, postman. Hate mail finally got you, didn't it?
And then the one dude from Mr. Roper, was it?
Yeah, that's Norman Fell. That's who I was talking about.
And who's his wife?
June Lockhart, who was on the original Lost in Space.
Oh, okay. I knew I recognized her. I don't think I've ever seen the original Lost in Space,
I don't know
which is
that I have
surprising.
either. I think she had a bit role in the remake with Parker Posey. Remember that we tried to watch?
Oh, really?
I think I saw that.
Or was it the 1997 Lost in Space with William Hurt and
Oh, it might have
Joey
been. It might have been.
Lawrence? Right? No, not Joey Lawrence. No, wait, it's not Matthew Lawrence.
Oh.
No, wait, Matt LeBlanc.
Well, a bonk. Okay. I totally understand that chain. It totally makes sense to me.
I'm good with names.
Yeah, same.
Joey.
Well, because you played Joey on.
I know that I said his first name, but Joey and Matthew Lawrence are two actors. They're
No, I know.
they're brothers.
No, I know.
No, I know. What are you looking up? That bitch and her stuff that she do?
No, I'm attempting to find this movie on Wikipedia to see if it tells me a budget.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe this was in the trivia. I don't know. Like that it was originally intended as a
Yeah.
Night of the Living Dead sequel.
Yeah, I saw that.
Or
Yeah,
Whatever.
something. Yeah. That's I get that because
intended for theatrical release, but straight to video.
that's also not surprising. See, like it does seem like it's just a straight run-of-the-mill zombie movie, but like for kids, not for kids, but like for a younger audience, not just like just straight
YA.
up. Yeah, kind of like it's supposed. It's more of a funny thing, which is also funny because I'm like, yeah, the first CHUD wasn't a comedy. It wasn't a horror comedy. There, like the funniest part wasn't it Daniel Stern that like threw the briefcase across the room? Very funny.
Yes.
That was funny, but like it wasn't. It was just funny because
Well,
of
John
how
Goodman
dramatic
and
it was.
J. Thomas.
What's his name? Yeah. And how like all this, it was like a, it wasn't the best film I've ever seen, but
No.
they had glowing
Well,
eyes, and
it's
they
got
had
what's his name, and it's the lead. So
was it
Head.
John
Head.
John Hurd?
Is it Herd?
Herd of what? Herd of cows. Sure,
Underwear.
I've heard of cows. Anyway, whatever. Yeah.
I don't understand how that guy got so much work. He's such a boring actor.
Yeah, that does it for
And
a
it
lot of
drives me
people.
crazy because I was confused his name with the guy who was in Silence of the Lambs as the doctor.
Because his name is like Healed or something.
Right.
But then there's
And your Beau Giles is
Anthony Stewart Head.
Head.
Yeah, it's Anthony Healed, I think is the guy from Silence of the Lambs, and Anthony Stewart Head is Giles from Buffy the Vampire Slayer and those sick-ass coffee commercials from the 90s.
Yeah. Speaking of Country Crock.
Basically, so the plot is
Well, it's nonsensical.
it's nonsensical, but
Did we mention Robert Vaughn is the Army general or whatever the fuck he is?
It starts-
He's amazing. I got to give it up for
love
him.
it, love it,
Love
it.
that he just went all in.
Yeah. So it starts with them basically saying that they're shutting down the CHUD program for the Army, and
And he snaps a pencil.
yeah, he's a pissy baby about it. And then it cuts to high school where there's a cut up and a smart guy and their friend who's a girl. And it took me until about halfway through the movie to realize that the dude that she wasn't dating either of them.
Yeah,
was
I
like,
assumed she was dating the
yeah, because
the
they
crack
basically
up.
are like dry humping the whole time, and then like they're like it's not. Yeah, it's very strange. I was like, wait, what? Whatever. Anyway, they're in school. They get in trouble. The two guys get in trouble, and then
Yeah,
they
and
have to clean up the biology lab or
Specimens?
whatever.
Yeah, where there's live frogs and
Rats.
some corpses.
Yeah.
Or some.
Well, there's a corpse because the teacher is like, tomorrow we're going to have a corpse for you guys. So they look at the corpse and accidentally knock it out
Yes,
into
classic.
the street, and it
On a
just
gurney.
goes.
On a
Yeah, it's on
gurney.
a gurney. It just goes out. I love that.
I love that that's it.
I
Does
love
it
that
not
in-
come up again?
No, it does. Remember the end when it hits her car and sits up? It hits their car, sits up, and then
that's
falls
who
back.
that
Yeah.
is.
So
Okay, that's a
what
good
I
bookend.
what I like is the fact that this school has a loading dock
Yeah.
with there's no way to secure it. Seemingly, it's just open all the time.
Yeah.
Which is exactly how loading docks work.
It was the 80s.
So it flies out
It was
the
before
loading
terrorism existed.
dock. It flies out the loading dock, just goes down the street, and they're like, how are we gonna get this dead body back? And the other guy's like, why get that one back when we could just steal
Get
one?
a different one.
Ah, yes, that thing.
Flawless logic.
So
And lucky for them, there's a CDC in their town.
yes, they go to the Center for Disease Control and steal a body that's encased in glass or whatever, something.
Yeah, it's like one of those chambers.
Yeah. And
What do they call them?
cryogenic.
Yeah, I guess that's what it's supposed to be, huh?
Yeah. So they steal that body.
Hyperbolic?
Hyperbaric.
Hyperbaric. Hyperbolic.
Bring it
It
home.
just exaggerates the concept.
That's what this movie is. It was a hyperbolic chamber in this film.
If you're inside of it, you try to speak, but everything comes out sounding very dramatic.
And that was the worst day of my life.
I think you're exaggerating. That's what it is. The Tammy toothpicks or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah. I think
That
you're
was
having a bad day.
that was almost a disaster.
I think you're exaggerating. Yeah, and then he says, I think you're having a bad day. And she says, I'm having the best day ever. It's my bar mitzvah or whatever.
Bat mitzvah.
Bat mitzvah. Sorry.
Batzilla.
Anyway,
Oh, the headphones are coming off. I love Janet.
she's great.
Because it's Brooke Dillman.
Yeah. You brought me over. I was like indifferent about her until you showed me the
The Mizzy Pile video?
video of her playing the piano. I was
Playing
like,
the player
bitch,
piano?
Oh my God. Cross-eyed, looking the wrong way. Oh,
Who knew Pam's landlady?
never been trained. I'm a natural.
Ma'am, you are so talented.
It's in me. When something's in you, you feel it. It's in your bones, in your marrow.
How long have you been playing this song?
This song, 43 years. I never stop.
Oh my God, so fucking good.
Like,
And honestly, it took me way too long to realize she wasn't actually playing
Same,
the piano.
same.
I was like, oh my God. I was like, she's really good. You gotta
link
get
in the
it to her.
description.
Yeah. Anyway, so
And she has no social media presence. I mean, good
Yeah.
on her, but
Yeah, good
it
on
makes
her,
me
but-
sad because
yeah.
I can't
yeah, you can't masturbate
stand.
fully to her.
Oh my God, you're a porn brain loser.
I'm a sitcom porn brain.
Sicko.
Sitcom porn brain.
Porn brain. Sick. Cut. Never mind. Cut it. Cut it out. Places. Back to one.
So,
So they steal a corpse.
yep. Yeah, they steal a corpse and then they bring it home and then they drop a hairdryer in the bathtub where they put
put
the
him in the
dead
bath.
body. I don't know why they did that. That doesn't make any sense. And then he
Oh, that's
comes
right.
back to life.
I think the bath was already drawn because
the bath was already drawn, but I don't know why they would bring a dead body into the bathroom and put it into the bathwater.
It seemed like he was headed for his room, and then little sister comes out, and he's like, "Oh shit, I'll just go take him into the bathroom."
That's fine, but he also throws.
I
so
know.
they electrocute him in the bathtub, and then he comes back to life, which apparently didn't mean anything. He didn't come back to life because of that. That had nothing to do with it. It just happened to happen at the what?
Because of the chudification of.
Yeah. What?
It's just a coincidence.
Anyway, So maybe it was supposed to have thawed him out or something. I don't fucking know. But also the thawing thing is inconsistent. That's inconsistent because
No. They mutate to be able to raise
no.
their
What
body
I'm
temperature.
saying is that's fine. But what I mean is they show he's supposed to be frozen, but he doesn't have any of that shit on him. But then when they freeze everyone else, they get that shit all over them.
Oh, that's because they put him in the chamber, so he's cryogenically frozen. Because they had the ice stuff is from the spray guns, from the
Right.
fire extinguisher guns.
Right. From where? But why wouldn't?
Because they put him in the deep freeze, I guess.
Oh my god.
I think there's plausible deniability there.
I don't.
I can suspend my disbelief.
I just
on
don't
that
think if
point.
you have ice on you and you're put in a cryogenic freezer, the ice is not going to melt off of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but maybe they cleaned it off.
That's a lot of exposition. Sorry, I mean explanation. Sorry, I mean disposition. Sorry, I mean
Dislocation.
stop stalking me. So yeah, he comes to life and then they leave him there like he's a fucking dead body and they just leave him in their basement. Smart. Love that idea. And they leave to go tell what's her bitch.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, cool. And then he gets out and there's an APB for the three of them, which
yeah.
is hilarious. And so they go looking for the guy. The military's also looking. Bud is his nickname. So everybody's looking for him. No one's finding him, and he's just wandering around town eating or just biting people. Really, he's not even eating anyone.
Yeah, that's confusing. That's why I was so confused about the dog.
Well, you see, there's like a supposed to be like a chunk missing out of its head.
Oh, really?
Which would be fine if there were chunks missing out of everyone else's heads. This movie's inconsistent. But it's ridiculous. Like my favorite part is when Robert Vaughn, is that who it is? The military guy?
Yes.
After he has someone blow up the restaurant.
Yeah.
Which is over the top. Like he does like a missile and it like it's just such an explosion. It's very funny. And they're all
what
just
is
like,
this?
whatever.
Beirut? Was this Gaza?
They then track the CHUDs to a farm. And he says he doesn't want them driving anywhere. So he just takes a gun and shoots the truck.
He takes out a 9mm sidearm.
Yeah.
Shoots
at the truck.
a pickup truck that explodes.
Like
amazing.
I was like, yes, this is exactly, love it. And at that point
Beautiful.
I was like, I was like, oh, they're doing shit on purpose.
Yes,
They're
yes,
purposely
exactly.
being ridiculous. I'm still gonna.
That's kind of what I mean. Like, it takes a while to get going.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I stand by that. I feel like that's structurally true. Like, it doesn't find a rhythm for a while, but it's also, it takes a minute to realize that it knows what it's doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
The dog attacking the mailman in the background was pretty good.
Oh my god, that was so.
Did you see that guy was originally cast as Bud?
I did see that. Yeah, and there's like a lot of stuff like that where like, you know, there's stuff that you realize kind of not too late, but kind of late into the movie. You're like, oh, they're doing a lot of stuff on purpose.
Yeah.
But the way that I feel like it's like, I agree with you, it's slow to start in that like it doesn't really execute that very well right off the bat.
Right.
So you have a little bit of trouble like getting
Gauging
into it.
the
Yeah.
tone.
You're like, okay, is this but like there's certain funny things when the kid is Steve or Charlie, I don't know, whichever one is
Steve is the dark-haired kid.
He's like, oh, we're going to go out, you know, and with so-and-so or whatever. And Diane or I don't know, Wendy, whatever her name is. And his mom says, don't stay out late. There's a documentary on...
Well, yeah, they're obsessed with like wildlife.
How
on the beauty of life.
or something. Oh my God. And and that's it. That's why he needs to be home because they're gonna so hilarious.
Also, when we first see the parents, Dad is has multiple empties and is drinking a beer while they're watching some nature documentary, and then we see them having dinner and they're having wine.
Yeah, that the exchange with them where she's like, "Try the wine. It's voted best in Michigan or something like that."
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So ridiculous. And then, but like, there's one point where they're watching TV, and the dad's like, "These penguins." He's like,
I thought he was wearing a tuxedo.
I thought he was wearing this. Guy's wearing a tuxedo. No, he's just a penguin or something. Oh my god, it was so stupid, but it was great. So there's stuff like that where you're like, okay, they're doing shit, but then I agree with you that like the kids are kind of the weakest.
Yeah. Which you can see being used to the advantage of the movie. I don't know. It's fine. It's whatever it is, like it's a genre convention, right? That they're doing on purpose. So it's fine that they're not better, but it's also kind of like, I don't care about these kids.
Yeah, right, yeah.
How about her bathing suit that gets revealed in the...
I mean, it was a great bathing suit, but I don't understand why she needed to be in it. I guess it was supposed to lure him. She was supposed to sexualize herself or something.
I guess. I thought it was just because she's going to get in the pool for 1 second to get the CHUDs into the pool.
I mean, like,
and then
I
jump
would
out.
get it. I would get it. If she's like, oh, I don't want to, and she just like took off her dress or something, or like took off her leggings or whatever. So that's fine. But like, I'm like,
and it's presumably the suit she keeps at school.
Right. I was like, school let you wear that? School let you wear
right.
that? That's your titties have flopped out of that in that public pool multiple times. If that was your school uniform, like, there's no way. But I liked how it looked on her.
Yeah.
But yeah, wild film. And there's like stuff. Yeah, I think Gerritt Graham's performance of everything was
definitely
really
a good.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
I was like, what?
Also, Robert Englund.
Oh right, yeah, he makes
no lines, just like
he's just like
footage of him walking a kid trick or treating.
But, like, I feel it. There were, like, times where I was like, man, if this wasn't Gerritt Graham and it wasn't, I don't know how I'd feel about this. Because there's a lot of choices that he made in the character that made it not irritating. Like, it would have been irritating just to see people, even if they were doing the same stuff that he was doing, it was intentional why, like, he was making the choices he was. And it felt like it was just as much. It really didn't feel like he was necessarily taking, like, just doing what the director told him. It really felt like he was.
He made it his own.
Right. It felt like it was. I mean, I'm sure there were conversations had or anything, but I mean, like, it didn't feel like he was just doing a bit. It felt like, or it didn't feel like he was doing, like, just acting out what was written. It felt like he was really he was really acting out. He was giving Bud a personality, which is impressive because there's no dialogue. And so I like I like when he tears the picture and it's very clear that it's perforated and he's just like,
it's impressive.
It's like it's torn in like a seashell pattern or whatever.
Scalloped,
that is. I realize that I am hungry, and that's probably why I feel like this is taking a long time. And I'm pissed at a white woman for being a lying little asshole and trying to victimize herself because she has a public Twitter. So I'm in a little bit of a bitchy, distracted mood. Did
you point this out already? That This movie was written by the same person who wrote Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
No, I did not point that out because I did not know that. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Ed Naha.
Wait, when did Honey, I Shrunk the Kids come out? Like 91?
Oh. 89.
Oh my God. Same year.
Well, I think this is it's 88, I think.
Oh, I thought it was 89.
Oh, no, you're right. 89.
I thought last night you were, that's why I assumed that because I thought last night you were like.
Directed by David Irving.
Bud the Chud?
Yes. Okay. Who directed some other things I've never heard of that look like they could be interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, this is one of those things where like.
Night of the Cyclone was the movie he did after this, 1990.
The cyclone. Isn't that just a tornado?
Before this, Sleeping Beauty, The Emperor's New Clothes, Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh, okay. So he's.
Oh, what's this? 1982. But Goodbye Cruel World. This looks like a romp. A man decides he's going to make a film before he commits suicide. With the help of a cameraman, he visits those he wants to tell the satirical dark. With the help of a cameraman, he visits those he wants to tell in the satirical dark comedy of strange characters. That's
Okay. So Gerritt Graham, I discovered last night. I shouldn't say discovered, but I don't know, whatever. So I was. He's on an episode of Voyager.
yes.
And I don't remember. Oh yeah, we watched Phantom of the Paradise.
Right.
And I was like, oh shit, this is the same guy. Like we were like realizing that, oh, this guy was in Phantom of the Paradise. I don't remember which one we saw first because we've been rewatching Voyager. If we saw his
I think Phantom of the
episode.
Parasite.
Yeah, and we were like, Parasite.
Jesus.
So I was like, oh shit. And then he started turning up in
Child's Play 2.
in things that were like, oh shit. So last night I was like, what else has he been in? And he hasn't like been in anything since like 2012, I think maybe, which is kind of sad. But I was like, what has he been in? I was like, I'm sure I've seen him in stuff. I was like, he seems so familiar in a way that I'm just like, I feel like I've seen him in something. And then I was looking through his stuff and he was in this show Now and Again, which is this show that maybe it was John Goodman. Maybe John Goodman was in the first episode. But it was about this guy. I don't remember exactly why him, but this guy dies suddenly. And I think Heather Matarazzo plays his kid.
No.
So, yeah. He died, like, this is, like, episode 1. He dies. Heather Matarazzo is his kid. And then the mom from Sebastian Cole or whatever, she's the wife. So it's her and they're, like, grieving the loss of their husband. And Gerritt Graham plays, like, the coworker or best friend or something like that of the dead husband. Now, what happens to the dead husband is
we got Dennis Haysbert.
Yes. His like brain is transplanted into like this fit young person. I don't exactly know. I don't remember why. I don't know if the guy's murdered because he has, I don't remember. But he has to, because it's like a government thing. He's not allowed to see his family. He's not allowed to have contact with them. He has to like remove, himself from
It is John Goodman.
And then like it's basically like repeatedly him just finding a way to like bump into them in public and just like find see them and find them, but like not in a like he just like is like I'm not gonna not see my family, like that's stupid. And it only lasted like one season, but it ends with him like going to them and being like, I'm your husband, like you have to run away with me, and they all leave together. And then it never got a second season, I don't think so. But Gerritt Graham was in that. And I was like, this is what I fucking know him from. But I didn't figure out all this time. I was like, what have I just neglected to look at his... I looked for Voyager. And Voyager happened before that series happened. So I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, right.
How was I... Anyway.
Yeah.
I really wish I could remember the joke I said because it was very funny. It was very funny. I'm trying to think. It was like around the time of the Halloween. Okay, it was the kid said, "I like your costume."
Yeah.
And what did I say? Oh my God. Oh, he said bitchin' costume. And I said, oh fuck. I don't remember what I said. It was so fucking funny too. Oh my God. Oh, I said, how can it be? I did because it was very clearly an ADR of a kid, like someone doing kid
An
voice.
adult doing, yeah.
And I said, and how can it be? For it is a bitchin' costume. And then I picked up the phone and I said, hello, Funniest Joke Awards. I have your winner. And it was so fucking funny.
Guys, it was really funny.
So funny. Keith was hitting me. Like, Keith was, like, doing the thing where he, like, can't, he's just...
That's why your ribs hurt. I was just punching you.
He will grab me, and it's so funny. It's so embarrassing because we both do this to each other. If one of us says something funny, we just hit the other in the arm, and that's just how...
Well, we do that when something's funny to us, period.
Well, yeah, that's fair, but we just, like... And I'm like, this looks so terrible. We just hit each other all the time. We'll do it in public. We don't care who's around. We'll just be like, smack, when something's funny.
That's what porn does to your brain.
The sitcom pornification. I don't remember what that was. I don't remember. I saw someone say, it was a tweet. I just saw someone say sitcom porn brain. Mm-hmm. And I was so confused. I was like,
it was about the roommate and like, could you not?
Oh yeah.
Or the girlfriend's roommate.
Yes. There was this, like this girl's boyfriend was staying over and his roommate,
his roommate?
Sorry, her roommate. Yeah, her roommate came out to get something out of the fridge. She didn't know he was there. And so she was just like in her underwear and a t-shirt and she just like got something from the fridge and then went back into her room. And he texted the roommate and said, can you put clothes on when I'm here because it makes me uncomfortable.
Right.
And then he like sent like a sweat emoji and was like LOL or something, and people were debating whether that seemed flirty or not. And someone was like, "Oh, sitcom porn brain makes you think everything's sexual." And I was like, "Sitcom?
Yeah.
Porn brain."
I think I get it.
I mean, I get what they mean, but I'm like, I don't think this is like a common thing. I think this is something that I'm like,
oh, but Gen Z, you have no idea.
no, it's fair. No, it's fair.
You know the sitcoms they were raised on. I mean, look at Xander on Buffy. I mean, I know that's too old for Gen Z, but...
Would you recommend this film?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you liked CHUD...
Well, I'm
not saying that's a requisite.
Yeah.
Because they're different.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I would recommend less sobriety than I was experiencing. I think that would probably enhance the experience. But, yeah, it's a goofy little...
I think if you are a huge fan of the first one, I mean, if you're a huge fan of the first one, you've probably seen the second one. But if you like the first one a lot and you're looking for something similar, you're not going to find that in this film.
Correct.
If you want something, I think that this is a movie that there is no need to even see the first one. There's so little of a connection.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
There's almost not a connection. They just say the CHUD program. They basically say what the CHUD program is first thing. And that's the only real connection to the first one that they have. So there's no real need to see the first
Well, they acknowledge
CHUD.
the cannibalism aspect of...
Yeah, right.
The CHUD virus.
But that's not... I like how that's cannibalistic human underground dwellers is what CHUD stands for. And they're like, that cannibalism was an unforeseen...
No, but that's... Remember, the government has a name for it. It's a different...
Oh.
You remember?
No, I don't remember.
You remember?
I don't remember.
The acronym CHUD is a backronym that people do.
Oh, I see.
Contamination Hazard Urban Disposal.
That's right. Oh, right. And that's how they... Right, because that... But then... Okay. So what they're saying... So it was... it was incorrect then. Because if the whole thing, okay, so that means that they totally misrepresented that from the, okay, I forgot about that. Or it's been a long enough time since I've seen the first one that I forgot.
It's been a year.
A little over a year, because it was your birthday. So what they did was they were dumping toxic waste
Right.
in urban areas, but they were doing
Under
it
the
underground.
under the subway in
so that they
New
were
York.
like could get away with it, like people weren't going to find
Right.
out because they were doing it underground, and then it affected the people who live,
the homeless folks who were
Right.
living underground.
and so it was not.
It wasn't a
What-
virus.
I didn't say it was a virus,
No, but they call it a virus in the sequel.
but okay, I didn't catch that. But they say the CHUD program is being are they implying that because of how that doesn't make any sense then? Because at the beginning they're like we're no longer doing the CHUD program, and he's like, but we
We were trying to make a soldier.
An enzyme that would allow soldiers to go on fighting even after they were clinically dead.
I'm afraid I don't share your enthusiasm, Colonel. The CHUD enzyme stimulated the brain to a point of frenzy.
They showed a lot of spunk, that's all.
Colonel Masters, there was a reason that these creatures were kept underground. For instance, the little matter of the drug's cannibalistic side effects.
A small glitch.
right, and I'm like, that's not what CHUD was.
You're right.
So, oh my god, so it's basically like borrowed the
Retconning.
name. Yeah, it retconned its own. What? Oh my god, the sequel. Oh my god, that's amazing.
Well,
I didn't even catch that. Though.
You could say, because if I remember correctly, it's the NSA, right? Or no, is it NSA or is it no? It's not National Security Administration. It's like nuclear. Oh fuck! Remember when we discovers the boots, and that's like a huge clue.
No, I don't remember. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's been so long. The fact that it's Daniel Stern. Last night I was like, Daniel Stern. It's crazy. Wait, when was CHUD? CHUD was like from like 81 or something? It was from pretty back then. 84. Jinx.
The year of our Orwell.
Oh. What?
I was saying something. Oh, I guess, again, you don't have to do all these gymnastics if you don't want to. Right. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
One could.
Yeah.
I'm saying there's a case that could be made.
Okay.
Should one wish to. If one does not wish to, that's totally reasonable. Okay?
Okay.
That the military, whatever branch or subsection of a branch that Robert Vaughn represents, took
right
the
what was happening.
Unfortunate folks who had been exposed to the
right
CHUD originated nuclear waste and mutated into cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers.
Right.
Took one of them, like Bud, for instance. Well, I think he's a later iteration, but like that they captured some of the CHUDs.
Yeah. Right. Yes.
The OG first iteration CHUDs.
Yes. And use them to
and
try to
experimented on them to create some kind of a super soldier. And that was the project that
possibly
he was piloting.
Possibly, but the only thing that
I'm doing a lot of work for the movie.
I would agree with you on that, except for the whole thing in the first one is that they were cannibalistic, right? You knew that they
Correct.
were eating people. And in the second one, she says like she says, I'm glad that they're shutting down the program, and he's like, it was a great thing to try to create a soldier that could keep fighting after they were dead.
Yeah.
And she said, what about the cannibalism?
Right.
And he said, an unforeseen side effect.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the only issue where I'm like, so you took cannibalistic people and you tried to make soldiers out of them and are surprised that they were cannibalistic? Is that what we're doing? That's my only.
Okay.
I would
All right.
100%. I had that thought. I was like, well, maybe they're implying that they did that, and I'm like, well, then why would they act like they didn't know that cannibalism was going to be a thing?
So this is a great pitch for a
Prequel.
pre-sequel,
Yeah. Pre-sequel. Yeah.
a CHUD 1.5,
Yeah.
if you were.
A
if
CHUD
you
brunch. A brunch, because it's not the first, it's not the second, it's half. No, it's 1.5.
A chunch.